even if it's a personal matter. He is our biggest cheerleader. I know that Henry looks at all of his students like we are his surrogate children. I've asked many students about their experiences with Henry. I, of course, got raving reviews about how he will track down a criminal code for a panicked student who needs one for a test in another class, or be the calm after a personal storm for some. I've heard quite a few I would not be here if it wasn't for Henry. And that is what makes Henry so deserving of more than just a nod and a high five, because he sees potential in all of us. He sees that potential when it seems that no one else does. He will always be the first to offer encouragement and help pick us up if we fall. Henry also gives many of us chances when others would have written us off. And because of that, he has literally changed some of our lives for the better. He has given many students hope when they felt they had none left. Henry is an awesome prof in the classroom, but at the same time, he is so much more than just a professor, because he not only helps us along the way, but he will be our biggest advocate if we ever need a voice louder than our own. I met Henry after receiving an email about a career presentation at Humber. To this day, I have no idea why I was sent that email, because I was a CJS student. I'd been struggling in my program because my heart just wasn't in it. I attended and spoke briefly with Henry, who invited me to come see him the following week to answer any questions I may have about the Police Foundation's program. At the time, I was suffering from a crippling depression, so after looking at my awful marks in my then program, I knew I had to lay everything out on the table about my personal tragedies. Henry gave me a chance. He gave me a chance when there were no more chances left for me, I felt. I left that meeting with a genuine smile on my face. It was the first time since I lost my brother. Sorry. I guess it's a good thing I've mastered the art of crying, not ruining my makeup. It had been the first time since I lost my brother that I'd actually smiled. That day, Henry gave me something that no one else had been able to give me in a really long time, and that was hope. What Henry gives his students is invaluable. In my case, it was hope that turned to be so healing for me. I just went from existing and going through the motions to get through my days to be this vibrant, happy person. If it wasn't for Henry's kindness and compassion, I wouldn't have the chance to come home every day excited to tell my family about everything I learned. And I wouldn't be excited to get up every day and go to school. One word I would use to describe Henry is passionate. I say this because I believe Henry is passionate about policing, about teaching, his students in general, and of course, his dogs. I think that Henry's ability to see potential in us is inspiring. I know his ability has inspired me not only to rise to that potential, but I feel as if I've exceeded my own expectations. I also admire his compassion and empathy towards others. I'm almost done, I promise. I think that even Henry himself has no idea how many lives he not only changed, but helped save. And I'm not just talking about his previous career. I think for every story like my own, there are countless others that are similar. As I mentioned in the first answer, I asked some of my classmates about their interactions with Henry. All were so positive, and there were many I would not be here if it wasn't for Henry. I would love to see him win. I would love to see him receive this or some sort of recognition for all he does for his students. Even an award seems so small in comparison to everything he's given us and society in general when the lot of kind, compassionate, and respectful young officers he helped shape hit the streets.